Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. All warfare is based on deception. The art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our readiness to receive him. The best victory is when the opponent surrenders of its own accord before there are any actual hostilities. It is best to win without fighting. If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. Know thyself, know thy enemy. 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories. To fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. It settles them into predictable patterns of response, occupying their minds while you wait for the extraordinary moment. If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. Speed is the essence of war. Take advantage of the enemy's unpreparedness, travel by unexpected routes and strike him where he has taken no precautions. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. The wise warrior avoids the battle. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. If your opponent is of choleric temper, irritate him. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. The greatest warriors win battles without engaging the enemy. Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Those skilled in war bring the enemy to the field of battle and are not brought there by him. One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. The victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won. A clever general, therefore, avoids an army when its spirit is keen, but attacks it when it is sluggish and inclined to return. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot, will be victorious. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Do not repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, but let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety of circumstances. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. All men can see these tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. When strong, avoid them. If of high morale, depress them. Seem humble to fill them with conceit. If at ease, exhaust them. If united, separate them. Attack their weaknesses. Emerge to their surprise. Regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Look on them as your own beloved sons, and they will stand by you even unto death. There is no place where espionage is not used. Offer the enemy bait to lure him. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. To win without fighting is best. When envoys are sent with compliments in their mouths, it is a sign that the enemy wishes for a truce. The skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. He captures their cities without laying siege to them. He overthrows their kingdom without lengthy operations in the field. Know the enemy, know yourself. Your victory will never be endangered. Know the ground, know the weather. Your victory will then be total. Hold out baits to entice the enemy. Feign disorder and crush him. Strike at its head, and you will be attacked by its tail. A wise ruler does not reward cleverness but rewards loyalty. In the midst of difficulty lies opportunity. The quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. Rouse him, and learn the principle of his activity or inactivity. Force him to reveal himself, so as to find out his vulnerable spots. Move swift as the wind and closely formed as the wood. Attack like the fire and be still as the mountain. When the enemy is making a false show, we must keep quiet. When the enemy is making a show of power, we must be calm. When the enemy is actively attacking, we must respond. A leader leads by example, not by force. Never trust a friend who is silent, for their silence may hide a multitude of thoughts and intentions, waiting to reveal themselves when the time is most advantageous to them. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. When the enemy is at ease, be able to weary him, when well fed, to starve him, when at rest, to make him move. Attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. Those who excel in war first cultivate their own humanity and justice and maintain their laws and institutions. Keep your friends close, and your enemies closer. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. In battle, there are not more than two methods of attack, the direct and the indirect. Move not unless you see an advantage, use not your troops unless there is something to be gained, fight not unless the position is critical. Do not engage an enemy more powerful than you. And if it is unavoidable and you do have to engage, then make sure you engage it on your terms, not your enemy's terms. If you know your enemies and know yourself, you can win 100 battles without a single loss. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. The opportunity to secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. One mark of a great soldier is that he fight on his own terms or fights not at all. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. If your enemy is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is temperamental, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant.